Cameron yoga class.
They hear you.
Oh, you think they can hear me?
Yeah, turn me on.
Oh, no.
Good morning and welcome to yoga. We're excited to live stream this class, but remember you can go back to it any time and play it from the Bella Vista POA Facebook page, and also we're downloading it to YouTube, so you should be able to search it on YouTube. Today we've got Trey joining us and Jessica again. So we're going to show you a couple of different versions. Jessica will show some modifications on occasion. We're actually going to start standing today. We have the chair in the background, just as a reminder that you can do some of these things from the chair or have the chair handy when you want to break, or for some standing poses you might want to put your hand on the chair for a little extra balance. So we're going to begin. So we're going to stand on it. Also, just a reminder, if you don't have a mat at home, a towel works fine, or a nice rug, and sometimes keeping a towel handy for seat poses to stick under your hips works really well. So we're just going to stand comfortably and get in our best posture, and we're just going to take a moment to arrive, give our body a chance to realign in standing position. Turn your hands out or forward in mountain pose and roll your shoulder blades back and down. You can start to focus on a relaxed breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Feel free to close your eyes if you like, or leave them open. Nice full deep breaths. And when you're ready, hands to heart center. And we're going to warm up the legs and the shoulders by doing little mini squats with arm circles. So we're going to inhale, reach up, exhale, sink down into a mini squat. Inhale, reach up, exhale, sink down. Inhale, reach up. You can look towards your hands. Exhale, sink down. 2 more times. Inhale up, exhale, and inhale up. And on the last one, we're going to hold the squat, the mini squat. We'll go deeper a little later, but for now, we're just warming up. Keep your breath moving. Exhale, release, and stand tall. Again, we're going to turn our palms forward, which naturally aligns the shoulders, bringing your shoulder blades back and down. Your feet are right under your hips, and we'll just take a moment to think about our posture. Our neck is over our shoulders over our hips over our knees over ankles. And our toes are relaxed. You might want to wiggle them a little bit, and then just let them fall back down to your mat. From here, we're going to do some side stretches. Inhale, reaching over. Doesn't matter really what side you start with. Just keep the flow going. Exhale as you lay that arm back down. Inhale, reach across. I happen to be starting with my right, but again, it doesn't really matter. We'll get both sides. Inhale and exhale. The more you do the poses, the more you'll start to feel like you're warming up, and the flexibility will allow you to go maybe deeper into the stretch. And let's go the other way. You want to move into yoga breath now. It's generally done in and out through the nose. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And certainly any normal breath works as well. It is important that you do movement linked to breath. One more. And exhale, release. And just standing nice and tall, just to let your arms wrap around your body. So you're doing a gentle twist of the spine, just kind of like kids do playing, just letting your arms swing freely. Relax your knees a little bit. And remember, anytime a pose is challenging for you, if it's coming closer to the earth, bending your knees is always something that you can do to make it a little less intense for you. So stand like mountain one more time. Our feet are right under our hips. They're not very far spread apart. We're going to rotate our hands forward, palms facing forward, and you'll feel the shoulders squeeze down and back. From here, we're going to just do a few forward flexions. Start with your hands to heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, take your hands down this time. We're going to go into a flat back, down to your shins, and look forward, flattening your back, and you'll start to feel your hamstring stretch. Now exhale and look towards your knees. Inhale, bring your hands back up, reach up, and this time add a little back bend, slightly arching back. Inhale and swan dive down, hands on the shins, flat back, look forward, out in front of your mat or your carpet a few feet. Then exhale, look towards your knees. Again, you can bend your knees as much as you like. And then inhale, rise back up, and exhale into a slight back bend, chest is forward. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, look forward, flat back. Exhale, release, look towards your knees. Bend your knees a little bit and rest your chest on your thighs. You may want to bend your knees a little bit more so you can get your fingertips down. Depending on how tight your hamstrings are, you can bend your knees to 90 degrees and have your entire chest supported on your legs, or if you've got more flexibility, your legs might be a little straighter. From here, go ahead and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Inhaling and exhaling as you release your shoulders back and down. Let's go ahead and do a few shoulder rolls. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, and exhale back. We're going to go back to those arm circles like we did in the beginning, and now we're a little warmer, so we're going to go deeper into our squat. So we're going to inhale up, exhale, squat down. Inhale up, exhale, squat. Let's hold the squat. Your hands can be behind you or more forward like traditional chair pose. It's really up to you. Or you could even rest your hands on your legs. We've got 3 different versions being shown here, so pick the one that works for you. Breathe into it. Exhale, pushing your heels into the earth. Rise back up and stand tall. Back to stand like mountain. Very nice. Let's just give the neck a little bit of stretch right now. You're going to lay your right ear to your right shoulder and just hold. Bring your chin to the chest. Left ear to left shoulder and hold. Feel the opening on the opposite side of the neck. And chin to chest. And head back to neutral. Standing like mountain again, palms facing forward. Just twist and look over the right shoulder as far as you can. Breathe into it. And exhale, return to center. Inhale, twist to the other side. And exhale to center. One last time, 3 shoulder rolls. And then you're going to step towards the front of your mat, and we're going to transition down to some floor work, but we're going to do a few standing poses first. So hands to heart center. We'll do some sun salutations. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, reaching forward. Swan dive down. Bend those knees into a flat back. Your hands are on your shins. Exhale, look towards your knees. Hands on either side of your feet. The right foot steps back. You're in lunge. The left foot joins it. You're in plank or modified plank, as Jess is going to show with her knees down. Keeping your elbows close to the mat, you're going to slowly lower down, almost like you're doing a tricep push-up. Let's rest there for a moment as we flatten our feet onto the mat. Our hands are close to our chest. We'll lift up into cobra or up dog. Don't have to lift real high. Remember, this one is coming from the mid-back. Press down. Rest your chin on your mat. Tuck your toes under. And Jess is going to go into all fours, whereas Trey is just going to go right into down dog. She'll go into all fours and then into her first down dog. Spread your fingers out. Frame your shoulders. Frame your ears with your shoulders. And from here, looking towards your hands, you're going to press your chest towards your thighs. And really feel that down dog. Feel the work in the legs and the shoulders. And then looking through your hands, you're going to bring your right leg through, and we're in lunge. Now Jess is going to drop her back knee, because that's an option. May make it feel a little more comfortable for you. While you're pushing the front knee forward and pressing the back heel back towards behind you. You're trying to think about opposition. You're feeling the work in the leg that's back, in the hamstrings, in the quad, in the hip flexor. The front knee is bearing weight. You're going to hold this and breathe. From here, take both hands on the inside of the foot. The right hand is going to stay down, the left arm is going to come up, and you're going to twist and open. You're looking up towards the top hand as you inhale. Breathe into it. Exhale, let's come back down. Place the hand on either side of the foot, and let's go back to plank. Hold it here, and then down to all fours, and let's go into our first child's pose. Sink your hips back. Keep your hands reaching forward if you want to stretch open your shoulders more and get a maximum stretch for the spine. If that is too intense on your shoulders, bend your elbows and slide your hands closer to your face. Let's come back to all fours and find the flat back position. So we're in tabletop, our back is flat, our tops of our feet can either be tucked under like Trey's showing or flat on the mat. Either is fine for now. Your fingers are fanned out, and make sure your hands are right under your shoulders. Make sure your knees are hip width apart. From here, let's do a few cow and cat stretches. So we're going to start with cat. We're going to start to drop our head, round our spine, tucking our tailbone between our legs, and creating as much space between our wrists and our shoulders as possible. Sweep your head forward a little bit, bend your elbows, extend your chest forward, your hips back as you inhale into the opposite pose. This is cow. Round it again, exhaling as you go into cat. Pull the navel up and in towards your heart. Tighten up your core. And then again, you're going to inhale, lengthen out, head and chest forward, hips back. One more time into cat. Create as much space underneath you as possible. Bringing your shoulders away from your wrists, dropping your head. Concave abdominal wall. And from here, tuck the toes under, and we go back into down dog. Create some space between your hips and the wall. So think about your tailbone being oriented towards where the wall and the ceiling would meet. You're pushing back. Your chest is pressing towards your thighs. Your knees can be bent as little or as much as possible, or as little as much as you need. Looking through your hands now, let's bring the left leg through into lunge. You may find that one side is a little bit more flexible than the other. That's okay. Jess is going to put her back knee down. We're both going to move our hands, all three of us are going to move our hands on the inside of that foot, and we're going to take that twist over. And again, If you feel a little more wobbly on one side, or you can't quite look up towards the top hand, you could do what I'm showing now, which is rotating my head a little forward so it's a little more comfortable for me. I'm thinking about pressing my front knee forward, my back heel behind me. I'm stacking my shoulders. I'm breathing into it. And whenever you're ready, on your exhale, you're going to rotate forward, back to those hands on the inside, and then walk the left hand on the other side. Feel that stretch again. Feel where the work is. Back leg, stretching, front leg, stabilizing and strengthening. From here, we're going to bring that left leg back. We're in plank or modified plank like Jess is showing on her knees. We're going to hold the plank for just a moment. Feel the strength there, working through the core. Breathe in and out. Keeping your elbows close, slowly lower down. Rest on the mat, keep your hands close to your chest. Lay the tops of your feet flat on the mat. Rest your chin on the mat. Elbows are pointing towards the ceiling. From here, lift up, cobra or up dog. Slowly down. And again, we're going to tuck those toes under. You can go to all fours before down dog, or you can go right into down dog. This time, we're going to walk our feet a little closer, bend your knees, and let's go ahead and do a little squat onto the mat. So you're going to bend those knees and lower your knees towards the mat. You're not going to quite touch, and then you're going to press back to down dog. Get into full down dog. Get your heels as close to the earth as you can. And then you're going to bend those knees and do a little squat, holding everything else the same. Get your knees as close to the mat as you can. And then back to down dog. This time we're going to come all the way down to all fours. And then back into child's pose. Remember, child's pose is an active stretch, so Jess and Trey are going into child's pose as I talk you through it. Great job. As you exhale now, take some time. I want you to think about sinking your hips as close to your heels as you can with every exhale. As you inhale, you're actually lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, you're softening. Just saying an audible sigh on the exhale almost to let your body release. Take a few more breaths here. Very nice. And then whenever you're ready, you come back to all fours and into sitting on your heels. Okay? So you're going to come up like me, sitting on your heels, at least to start. If that's not comfortable, you can go ahead and be in an upright kneeling position. Either works. We're going to do some camel stretches, which is really going to open up the front of your thighs, but also work your shoulders. So you may need to modify. Jess will show some of those. We're going to start together, though. All we're going to do is start by bringing the right arm up and reaching overhead. We're going to take it behind us and reach for the heel of our foot. Okay? And then let's bring it back. And the same thing on the other side. Reach the left arm up, rotate it all the way back, touch the heel, inhale forward, exhale down. Now we're going to come up on our knees. We're going to inhale up with the right arm. We're going to exhale, swing it behind, and this time we're going to reach for the ankle or the heel. The left arm is going to come up in opposition. And breathe into it and feel the work at the front of the hips, the front of the thighs. If again, looking up towards your hand is not completely comfortable, you can turn your head to the side. And when you're ready, you're going to reach up for the ceiling, reach that top hand up, release the back hand, and back to kneeling position. Now be in your body for a minute. You may feel some active stretching along the side of your torso after you come out of it. That's pretty normal. You may also feel a little firing in your thighs. That's also normal. Let's go the other way. So this time the right arm comes up, and the left arm is going to reach behind for the heel or the ankle. And if you can't reach back for the heel, you can still do it by reaching for the calf or even just staying here and arching back slightly. You don't have to touch back. Reach and breathe. Reaching for the sky with that top arm. Reach up, release the back arm, and float that arm down, back to kneeling position. Now I'm going to show full camel. You can try it if you like, or you can do one side and the other like Jess is going to show, or you could just simply sit back and go into child's pose and take a rest. So I'm going to start with my right side. I'm going to reach back, get into position. I'm going to bring my left arm up. I'm going to circle back, reach for both heels. And I'm opening my chest, heart center, to the skies, to the heaven. And this is a back bend, but also feeling it through the quads. Nice job, Jess. Great job, Trey. When you're ready, you can bring one arm up, then the other. Exhale, sweep down. Very nice. Let's go back to all fours. Tuck those toes under. And again, down dog. Give yourself a little bit of time, 3 breath cycles here to let your spine lengthen. Breathe into it. Soften your knees. Keep your ears lined up between your shoulders, pressing your chest towards your thighs, and breathing into down dog. From here, try not to move your hands. Come right forward into plank so your shoulders are over your wrists. And you might have to walk your feet back a little bit, or you can be down on your knees like Jess is showing. Go right back into down dog. And inhale forward into plank. And down dog. Inhale forward into plank. And down to all fours. And back to child's pose. Nice. Give this a bit of recovery pose, an active stretch. It is a restorative pose, so take the time you need. Breathe slow. Focus on the exhale, letting go. If you'd like to give your shoulders a bit more break, take your hands next to your feet, palms up towards the ceiling, and do your child's pose, letting your shoulders get a little bit more of a break. Still focusing on the softening and letting go on the exhale. On your next inhale, go ahead and place your hands close to your chest, palms down, and go ahead and breathe and rise back up. Let's transition onto our backside. Great work. So let's talk about breath a little bit. This is a time when maybe having a rolled up towel is helpful. If you don't feel comfortable sitting just flat, just tucking a towel under your hips will allow you to sit a little more comfortably, and that can be whether you have straight legs, V-sit, one leg in, whatever works for you. Let's talk a little bit about breath right now. We touched on it earlier in class. As we continue class and work on abdominals, breath is even more important. So you really want to focus the exhale on the hardest part of the work. But again, if nothing else, as long as you're not holding your breath, you're doing it absolutely well. Okay? So with that, we're going to do boat pose to start. So let's scoot about midway into our mat, because we will be laying back into our mat at some point. We're just going to rest our heels on the floor. And as an option, Jess is going to keep her heels down and extend her arms like Trey and I, but that's a little easier. Then she can periodically bring her legs up as she wants. So we're going to squeeze the insides of our knees together. We're going to have our hands on the outside of our knees and lower legs. And we're going to keep our back relatively straight in this. So we're just going to lean back to start. Then we're going to bring the legs up to 90 degrees, and we're going to reach our arms long, and we're just sitting and breathing. Now Jess can play with it. She could bring one foot up at a time. That's still very challenging. She could switch sides, anything she wants. Trey, if you want to, you could go into a full boat pose, and I'll stay in a moderate position. Notice how I make Trey work harder than me. All part of my master plan. And let's all rest. And if that's intense and you need a little recovery for your spine, just drape your body forward over your knees. Okay, whatever works in between the poses. Let's rock ourselves side to side, make sure we're on our sits bones. We're going to do boat pose again. Again, this is just time for you to practice. That's why we call it yoga practice. You can stay as long or as short in these poses as you like. So I'm going to squeeze the inside of my knees together. I'm going to have my hands on the outside. I'm going to lean back, relatively straight spine. Then I'm going to bring my legs up and extend my arms. Breathe into it. And bring it down whenever you're ready. Take any stretch you need. Very nice. And while we're here, we're going to do rolling like a ball. I'm going to actually turn sideways so you can see what, actually, no, Jess is sideways. She'll show it just great. So rolling like a ball, if you've ever been to any of the classes at Reardon, you may have seen me teach this before. It's actually a Pilates move, and it's a great way to manipulate your spine and give you a little bit of a massage on your spine, but it's also core work. So you're going to, this time, hold your knees together, and you're going to think about rounding your back into a C, the capital letter C. By that motion, you're pulling the navel into your spine. You're then going to bring your legs off the floor just like you were in boat. You're keeping that C spine, and you're literally going to roll back to your shoulder blades, and then you're going to come back up and try and stick the landing, so to speak. So you're going to roll back. Your head can touch the floor, but you're not bearing weight on your neck. You're bearing weight only up to about the shoulder blades, and then back forward. And it's really about engaging the spine as you hold. Now, if you want to make it a little harder, you can straighten your arms, just like in boat pose. You can straighten your legs. Inhale, lay back. Going to exhale forward. Inhale, lay back. Exhale forward. 2 more times. Last one. Really nice. Go ahead and bring your legs down. Great job. If you want a forward flex, go ahead and do that. So Jess had a little tight spine this morning when she came into class. How are you feeling now? Is that hard on your spine? Did that help a little bit?
Loosened it.
Loosen it? Okay. All right, so sometimes when we have a tight spine, it's coming from our hamstrings. So let's spend a little time on the hamstring. Let me try that again. Hamstrings. You're just going to straighten your legs and keep your feet relatively relaxed. They're not pointed hard. They're not flexed hard. And we're going to sit up in our best posture, and we're going to rock ourselves on our sits bones, make sure we're nice and tall. And all we're gonna do, keeping our knees relaxed, we're gonna just reach forward with our arms sweeping forward out towards our toes, looking out past our toes and breathing into it. We don't have to force it. It's not necessarily about getting your head to your knees, although that's an option. You're really reaching forward. Now inhale, sit tall again, stack your vertebrae, sweep your arms up and over, and exhale forward. And breathe as we hold this position. One more time. Inhale up, lengthen that spine, circle out and around. Breathe into it. 3 breath cycles on your own. Restack. And bring the soles of your feet together now. We're going to do a butterfly stretch. Continue to work on opening the hips and the legs. So we're going to start by letting gravity do the work. If you can grab around your toes, that's fine. If you want to just place your palms up on the outsides of your legs, that's fine. For some people, you might want to have your feet a little farther forward. It's really what you can do to be comfortable. Now, we're going to just breathe for a few breath cycles, and then we're going to add the forearms onto our legs to open the clamshell a little bit more, right? Open those butterfly wings. So breathe into it. You're looking out in front of your mat. Add as much pressure as you can without forcing it. So it's gentle pressure. Breathing into it. All the adductor muscles get really tight from all the sitting we do. And it's sometimes a muscle group that we don't even know is tight until we start doing the stretches. But it affects everything, our gait, our walk, everything. Release those legs, shake them loose a little bit. Bring them all the way back together if you want. And let's go into that stretch again. Position of your choice. You can use that pressure with your forearms if you like. You can go a little farther forward if you want to get more of a spinal stretch along with the adductor stretch. Very nice. Release those legs, bring them back together, and bring those legs out in front again. If you want to get a drink, go ahead and do that. I got a little breakfast smoothie going on. And again, you're going to rock yourself side to side, and we're going to open the hips and the spine a little bit more. You're going to cross the right leg over the left. You're going to take the left arm and wrap it around the right knee. So you're in fact giving the right knee a hug to the opposite shoulder. The right arm comes up and over and behind, and you're going to twist gently and look over that shoulder. The more you hug this leg, the more you'll feel a little stretch in the hip abductors, specifically your glute medius and your piriformis muscles. Exhale back to center, and just look forward for a minute, and we'll go to that direction again. Bring the arm up and over, behind, and then staying tall through your rib cage. Twist. Back to center. And let's do it one more time on that side. Inhale up, and exhale, twist. Inhale, release back to center, uncross that leg. Shift your weight, and we'll go to the other side. Set that leg down. Right arm comes around the left leg. Pull that knee towards your shoulder. And if we didn't add the twist, you should feel a little bit of opening, a little bit of stretching here through the hip. But we are going to add that twist. Bring the left arm up. Exhale back behind you. Twist and look over that shoulder. back to center, relax. And we'll go again. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Keep the breath moving, back to center. One last time. Inhale up, exhale, breathe into it. And exhale, relax back to center. Very nice. A little bit more stretching, then we're going to go down and do bridging. Just bring one leg in. I happen to have my left leg in, my right leg out. And I'm going to sit tall again, okay? And in this position, you may feel more opening again in the adductors. So, if you want to keep your intensity a little less, you can move your leg closer in. If you like the feeling of that stretch, you can take it a little farther out. Again, the foot is not flexed hard, nor is it pointed hard. It's just somewhat relaxed. Placing your hands in front of you, all you're going to do is walk forward to the edge of your mat. And again, you're feeling a stretch. This is pretty total body right now. You're getting legs, you're getting spine, shoulders, back. Breathe. Walk your hands slowly up, restacking the vertebrae. Before we go on, roll your shoulders back and down. Great. And take it to the other side. Find the position that works for you. For some people, having your foot a little farther forward might be more comfortable. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale and we'll creep those fingers forward. Feel the length in the spine from the tailbone to the top of the cervical spine or the base of your head. Walk your fingers or hands back whenever you're ready. Sit tall. Roll those shoulders back. Very nice. So we're going to do some bridging, and then we're going to move into relaxation. Okay? This class will probably be a little shorter than an hour today. We did some intense moves earlier, so we're just going to go with the flow. Give yourself the time to do the relaxation. We're going to do a few more things on the mat before we move into relaxation. So we're going to slowly roll back onto our back, and we're going to do some bridges. We're going to start by resting our hands along our hips, and all I want you to do is pay attention to your spine right now. And so I'm going to point at Jessica a little bit. Her spine is in a neutral position. She's just laying comfortably. But right under her lower back, what I want her to do is to think about having a grape or maybe a cherry tomato under her back. And all I want her to do is smash that grape. It's a very nuanced, but by smashing that grape, she's pushing her lower back down into the mat, and her tailbone tilts up a little bit. She's from there going to rise all the way up into a bridge, go all the way up. Very nice. And she's feeling the work not only in her quads, but in her lower back. Her spine is at a diagonal. She's engaging her glutes, as is Trey. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slowly roll that spine down from the upper back to the mid back until the lower back is touching. So they're going to roll back down. Very nice. So first thing you're going to do, Trey is going to think about that cherry tomato under his spine, and he's going to smash that cherry tomato. Great. And you see his pelvis tilts up, and now he's going to roll up into a full bridge. Once he gets up, and once we all get up, we're going to hold it now for 3 breath cycles. Breathe into it. You're reaching your knees forward. Your spine, your glutes are engaged. You're breathing. And on your last exhale, you're going to roll that spine down. Thinking about painting a line down the mat with your spine as you slowly roll down. 1 vertebrae at a time until your lower back is down on the mat and you're back in your neutral spine. Let's try that again. We're going to smash the grape. So right now our lower back is pushed into the mat and our pelvis is ever so slightly off the mat. We're going to continue to peel off the mat into that bridge. Pull the bridge, squeeze and breathe. 3 breath cycles here. And on the next exhale, go ahead and roll it down, 1 vertebra at a time. And we're going to add a final stretch to this for the hips. We're going to cross the left leg over the knee. Let that knee fall to the side. We're going to do that same bridge while we stretch that hip. So smash your grate and then peel back up, and 3 breath cycles here. Burying the weight on your shoulders. On your next exhale, you can roll down. Place your hands under the bottom leg, bring that knee in, or straighten the leg, and continue that stretch. This is upside down pigeon, or some of you know it as figure 4. Rest your head on the mat. You're just holding onto that bottom leg. Breathe into it. Go ahead and lower that leg down, uncross, and let's go to the other side. So now the right leg comes across, that knee falls to the side, and pressing into the mat or smashing that grape, smashing that cherry tomato, and then bridging all the way up. Hold it here, 3 breath cycles. On the last exhale, go ahead and roll yourself slowly back down. We're going to continue that stretch. We're going to lace our hands through that leg, grab that bottom leg, pull it in. You can have the knee bent like I'm showing, or Trey's going to straighten his leg and he's showing the full figure 8, upside down pigeon. Set those legs down. And we're going to go ahead and go into Shavasana pose. So we're going to go ahead and lay down. I'm going to sit up for a minute so I can talk you through it. But Trey is going to show how he's going to take his legs about a foot to 2 feet apart. And he's going to let his toes rotate out to the side, which is naturally going to open up his hips, as is Jess. And then they're both going to turn their palms up and move their arms out about 45 degrees away from their body. They're starting to relax their head and neck and jaw. And this is corpse pose or Shavasana pose. If it's more comfortable for you to have your knees bent, Jess will bend her knees and just have her feet flat on the mat. That's another option. And certainly you could even go into child's pose or sit in a chair and relax at this point. Please do close your eyes as we work on letting go and relaxing. The focus right now is back to our breath. Taking nice and slow inhales and exhales. As we inhale, we're breathing in all the good, filling up with oxygen, energy, good things. As we exhale, we're letting go. Carbon dioxide, stress, tension, heaviness. Inhale slow. And exhale slow. Closing your eyes, relaxing the muscles of your face, specifically your jaw. Let there be a slight separation between your lips. So as you continue to breathe and let go, There should be no frowns or wrinkles on the face right now. Everything is relaxed. Your head is resting comfortably on the earth, as are your shoulders, the back of your arms, your back, your glutes, your legs, your ankles. And as you lay back and release any tension that you still feel in your body, try and focus your breath on that area. If you have a tight spine or area of your back, try and take some deep breaths, and in your mind's eyes, visualize breath moving in and out of that tightness. If any thoughts come to mind right now, just acknowledge it and then send it on its way. So both in a mental and physical letting go during this relaxation portion. Breathe in energy, light, hope, faith. Exhale pain, stress, panic, fear. Inhale good. Exhale bad. Inhale peace. Exhale panic. Inhale faith. Exhale fear. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. As you hear the sound of the chime, begin to bring yourself back to the present moment. Slowly reawaken the body. Move your hands, your fingers, perhaps your head, in any way that feels right for you. And then take some time rolling onto your left side and spend a few moments in the semi-fetal position. Move as slowly as you need to. Take a nice inhale, and then place your top hand on the floor in front of you. And press into the floor to bring yourself back upright whenever you're ready, taking your time. Back to a seated position whenever you're ready. And we'll bring our hands to heart center. And I'm going to leave you with something that I heard earlier this week from some Americans living in Italy, and perhaps if you watched the Today Show, you saw this interview. It was a young couple living in Italy, in Milan, where the outbreak is very severe, and they happen to be ministers. And they were being asked how they're handling all of this. They have 2 young children and having to stay quarantined. And she said some of the words that I used earlier, which is to choose peace over panic and to choose faith over fear. I know it's a difficult time, but you guys are all going to be strong, and we're going to be here for you. We'll be streaming live 9 o'clock tomorrow and Thursday. Lucy will be back tomorrow, and we're going to do an 80s workout, so we're going to bring a little joy into your life. With that, I say namaste, which loosely interprets the good in all of us, recognize the good in you, and we appreciate you.